The same we saw in Calais. Here I don't have photos of Calais. In the north of France, in Calais, there are also old encampments. One of them was called the jungle, and it is a word created by the proper Afghan migrants. Not a pejorative word in their meaning. I've never made research about refugee camp in Pakistan, but people say that in Pakistan, Afghan refugees are acclimated since many years, because there is refugees camp since at least 25-30 years in Afghan people life, and the term they used very quickly was the term of jungle to design the campments. Then when they arrived in Europe and they established, for example, in the north of France, they used to call it the jungle. And the French people and the media and the political took this word in a very pejorative meaning. Oh, c'est la jungle, you know. The disorder, the forest, the salvage, the place of the salvage. And the kind of habitat is approximately the same than the one here in Patras in Greece. I don't have here photos of Calais, but it's approximately the same. The point is that in July 2009 in Patras, Greece, September 2009 in Calais, France, both of these encampments were destroyed. In the same investigation, we were to Italia in the suburb of Rome, and we went to some very big squad of African people who are established in a big building, who are old immeuble d'affaires, négoce, financial building of seven flats, and very big. And in these two places, the Ethiopian, Sudanese, Eritrean people were established since 5 years ago, and trying to organize more and more. And there was this situation that I say that the encampment, the first encampment, this kind of encampment, is exactly the figure of the refuge. What we see, for example, what we saw in a very tense situation, something with a very big fear that the people inside was feeling of the outside, and then they were closing themselves inside the building, and themselves securing the door, not letting people enter, and being very paranoid, and the paranoid attitude is the normal attitude inside this kind of places. The attitude of fear of the violence which is about to come, because the people are rejected, and this is, I think, the first basic definition of what refuge is, and a definition that we still can find in other figures of refuge, even if the moment of the foundation is not exactly the same. I mean, it's not necessarily always people arriving, fleeing from a place, arriving to another, hiding somewhere because the people are not hospitality. This is the figure that I would say the elemental figure of the refuge. But other situations, like, of course, refugees camp are not the same situation. What happened in this situation of refugees or internal displaced camp is that this is the visual difference is not so obvious, but there is a difference between internal displaced person and refugees and refugee camp. Internal displaced person is frequently, you have thousands of internal displaced camp in the world. Internal displaced camp is when the refuge which I talk about is self-established by some people who have going from one place because of violence. And they have established there. Then some organization arrive, some NGOs, some administrative organization, and then many things can happen. They can be took and brought to a refugee camp if they have passed a border, or they can stay in the place. This photo here is in Liberia, and in Liberia during 50 years there have been many movements because of the war in the north of the country, and then other region in the center of Liberia was plenty of displaced IDPs, internal displaced persons. But in the same camps, there could be also refugees from Sierra Leone. Then the same places was the place of a very big turnover between displaced persons from the proper country or refugees coming from the country beside, which is Sierra Leone. And in Sierra Leone, the same thing.